And I don't blame Cruz for not wanting to fight him.
Breaking news. Bob Arum came out stating that Isaac Pitbull Cruz does not want the Shakur Stevenson fight. However, Shakur, on the other hand, 100% wants the fight next, where Bob Arum told Fight Hype, quote, "I don't think so. I don't think Cruz is really anxious to fight him because I don't think anybody is really anxious to fight Shakur. So I don't think the fight will happen. I think we are going in a different direction for Shakur because there are 4 sectioning bodies. Cruz will probably look to fight somebody else for another sectioning bodies mandatory. And we will do the same for Shakur. If I'm wrong, we have reached out to Sean Gibbons, which is Pitbull Cruz promoter. Shakur will absolutely fight anybody at 135 because he's a fantastic fighter. And I don't blame Cruz for not wanting to fight him." In addition to that, Bob Arum said that he's 100% interested in making the fight. With that being quoted, "I'm glad the WBC flexed their muscle and ordered all of these fights because now we're gonna know who wants to fight and who doesn't, who's bluffing and who's for real. We see Shakur Stevenson wants to fight. He already said, 'I'm not ducking or dodging anybody.' Ever since this fight got ordered, Shakur has been sharing it all over his social media accounts. And he said, 'Just give me my credit when I beat Pitbull Cruz.' So we seen Shakur Stevenson reaction. However, not once Pitbull Cruz said anything about the Shakur Stevenson fight. Pitbull Cruz was so quick to respond to Ryan Garcia. All of a sudden, now he's as quiet as a church mouse when he's being ordered to fight Shakur. He's no longer a pit bull. Shakur turned a pit bull to a mouse. He may bark, but he's not willing to bite when it comes to fighting Shakur. Matter of fact, I take that back. Pitbull Cruz is not even barking at Shakur. He's as quiet as a church mouse at the moment in time. And the fact that Bob said he reached out to Sean Gibbons, Pitbull Cruz promoter, then he followed up with, "They not interested." That tells me Pitbull Cruz doesn't want the smoke with Shakur Stevenson. He was only barking when he was calling out Devin Haney during his last fight. Because if Pitbull Cruz was sincere, then why not fight Shakur? What Pitbull Cruz has to realize, he did not beat Gervonta just because Gervonta didn't knock him out. That don't mean anything. Gervonta still beat him with one hand. So Pitbull Cruz has a lot to prove. Ever since the Tank loss, Pitbull Cruz already had 2 tune-up fights while turning down meaningful fights with the Ali lookalike kid, Rivera, 3 to 4 times. That's right. Now Pitbull Cruz looking to turn down the Shakur fight? Are you kidding me? It ain't even like Pitbull Cruz has a record to protect. He already lost multiple times. Nevertheless, what didn't make sense to me is what Bob said about Pitbull Cruz going to another section and body and Shakur doing the same. And my question is, why would Shakur do the same? The only fighter that's forced to go to another section and body is the fighter that ducks and turns down the fight. Meaning, the only fighter that's going to be removed from the WBC rankings is the fighter that petitions / requests to the WBC to pull out of the fight. Which, if that's Pitbull Cruz, that would mean Shakur is going to fight for the interim WBC title at lightweight on his next fight. So Shakur doesn't have to go anywhere. The only fighter that has to go anywhere is the fighter that turns down the fight. Why go anywhere when Devin Haney is the undisputed champion? It don't matter where you go. There is no other champion in the division, and there is no vacant title around. In fact, Pitbull Cruz is the current interim WBC champion at lightweight. So the only way we're going to find out if Pitbull Cruz turned down the fight with Shakur and requested to pull out is if Pitbull Cruz gets stripped of his interim WBC title then Shakur fights for that same interim WBC title on his next fight. That's what's gonna tell us 100% that Pitbull Cruz turned down the fight with Shakur Stevenson. On the other hand, if some way somehow Pitbull Cruz is fighting for the interim WBC title on his next fight, that would mean it's Shakur Stevenson who turned down the fight by requesting to pull out of the WBC title Eliminator. So I don't know what Bob Arum is talking about when he said, I think we're going to go to a different direction with Shakur because there are 4 sectioning bodies. Cruz will probably look to fight somebody else for another sectioning body, and we will do the same with Shakur. That would suggest that they both don't want the fight. Shakur needs to stay right where he is and fight for the WBC interim title next. Last but not least, the beauty about a fight being ordered is that if both fighters want it, the fight can happen, despite all of the promoters and the network's roadblocks. Because worst case scenario is the fight goes to purse bid, and that's better for the fighters. Also, another beneficial of a fight being ordered is that we're gonna find out who wants to fight and who doesn't. We all know Shakur wants to fight, but the $1,000,000 question, does Pitbull Cruz wants to fight too? Or is he all bark and no bite? With that being stated, drop your thoughts in the comment section below, subscribe below, and click on the notification bell to be continued on the next episode of Akhi, TV. Peace. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.